Hello, Veegilants. Good afternoon. How are you doing? I'm sure I met you well, and I'm sure you're doing great. Welcome to another episode of Veegilants. And on today's episode, we're bringing a topic that is a talk about topic anyways. And you know what I would do here? It's all about the impact, inspiring you and bringing in new perspective about situations that you have knowledge about or probably little knowledge about. And I'm still your host, Olaito Babatunde. As usual, on today's episode, I have my amazing co-host with me in the studio. You know, when I talk to you about these people, I've always told you they're beautiful, they're happy people. You know, they light up the room, and I'm so happy to always be around them. They give me the right vibe when needed. And I'm talking of none other than my beautiful babies, my beautiful ladies, Grace and Precious. Precious, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Grace, good afternoon. How are you doing?
So, adding to my name now.
Okay.
I think I want to adopt, what's it called? Full housewife.
Okay.
1 year. How many years will I say now? 100 years wife material. Okay, wife material. Sorry.
Sincerely, so if you're out there and you're looking for a wife, please, Grace.
Search
Grace
no
is
more.
search no more. I beg. 1 million yards. I think she didn't even say it right. 1 million yards. Yeah. So on today's episode, we'll be talking about human trafficking. But before we go deep into that, last week we discussed cyberbullying, and our case study was Tony Abraham. And, going online, I was saying it last week that, a few people are really supporting her, they're giving her the support she needs and all of that. No one is even begging for the release of Ayo. And as of yesterday evening, I was online, I was on Instagram, and I saw, Muyiwa Ademola. I saw a lot of celebrities uploading her pictures, saying nice things about her and, wishing her well and telling her that she would also get through it. So at some point I was confused, like what happened to her again? Because I know she's on a set. She's in a location right now. She's producing a movie. And I was like, what's going on again? What happened? Then as of yesterday afternoon, I was telling Paul that Tony Abraham is ranking first on Twitter. What's going on?
Even at this morning, she's still
yeah,
trending.
so I was like, okay, I didn't even take that to heart. Like, okay, well, but it's possible. Not until later in the evening that I saw a video of her, just talking. She was like, she's tired. At this point, she even wants to die. If they want to kill her, they should kill her. But at this point, if she's going to die, all the bullies together. All the bullies will go with her, and she was just trying to say that the only mistake she made is exercising a democratic right. And for me, I feel exercising your democratic right is not a mistake. Thing in the Constitution, you have the right to vote and be voted for. Franchise, every one of us, as far as you attended primary school and secondary school, you know this, that you're supposed to exercise your right. And I feel that even those that do not have voters card, I'm sure there are a lot of adults there that don't have voters card. But for me, I feel like they are our problem, not even the people that have voters card. Now, I don't see the reason why we should bully someone that exercised a democratic right. It is not necessary. She came out, she said, Tinubu told her this, told her that, and then she feels like he's the right person for Nigeria.
But I don't think that was where she even made mistake from safe at the beginning. If he tell you something, why are you coming to tell us? He told you what?
Exactly.
Now that
What
something
did he
has
say?
happened. I remember that this woman said, we have to come.
Come and say what?
What did Tinubu tell you that time?
It's just a humble request that we're asking. What did she tell you? Like maybe she have told you what we have not heard before. And then you can lay to us that this is
let
what
us know.
let us know.
But then
didn't tell her anything, or probably by mistake now she
they
ended
met
maybe from somebody. She definitely know like I don't even think they even met. Probably through one person or one person. She said, the president said this, and she got to find out
about it.
And then, coming out now to say that Tinubu said this now, maybe it might not even make the president or whatever after or something like that. So I don't really even know. I don't even know what's going on.
So is she telling us Tinubu told her something and all of that? It now makes her that she is a stakeholder in this administration. So definitely she should be accountable too. For what she did, her vote should be accountable. So like Nigeria is at the point that everyone is trying to get hold of something to vent the anger on.
Yeah.
So, but I'm not still at the side of the guy going to that extreme of putting the child, the innocent child, into the what's it called, the zaga. But I think it is at the point that we all should be accountable of whatsoever step, whatsoever action, whatsoever opinion we made.
Okay.
So that's it.
Yeah. I also reason with you, but I feel like at this point, these people are taking it to the extreme.
If you want to hold anybody accountable, hold the government
accountable. I feel like we should all go to the Aso Rock.
Because even if you hold her accountable, now what does she want to do?
Exactly.
She's the nearest person. She's the nearest person to us now. She's the nearest person. Was it in Aso Rock that they told us that I told you something? She's the one that told us that.
So our mouth is scratch and see your mouth.
So let her do own it with your full chest.
Okay.
You understand? And I think she's not the only one they have dragged. So it's just that them putting or dragging the innocent child to it, that was an off for me.
But I feel like her husband into it. The money she collected.
It's a couple decision. I as a wife, I cannot stand making decision where my husband is not aware or my husband is not in support. So both of them should be dragged.
But one thing is that
both of them cannot be dragged, because me now I can probably be supporting APC and my husband might be a Labour Party member.
Because the husband is actually a very silent person.
But in African marriage, we know is it from that aspect? It's not from that aspect.
That actually happens. Not all marriages,
pardon
me to say, because know that there are some men that are actually very supportive. Oh, babe, this is what you want, Abi. Okay, you have my support. Even if they will not do that same thing, they will give you that support. You understand? So for the fact that she supported Tinubu doesn't mean
all your support with your full chest too. That's just it, my dear.
Okay, but I think everybody knows her husband to be a very quiet person. He's not the I'm here the kind of person. Even with the fact that his wife is, I think their words in opposite. Tony Abraham is the outgoing type. She's free with people, but her husband is just that person that keeps to himself. And I know that, okay, when you do something, own up to it. Oh, I did this. She did that already.
By what?
I think she came out and said that, okay, it's true. Tinubu told her some things, but she feels that those things are, what she heard are things that will better Nigeria.
Okay. And
so now
which is happening.
It's just
what is happening.
What he said he was going to do. Now, I feel at this point, I used to say something, it is you against your word. If you tell me that, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. If you do not do it, it is on you. You're the one that didn't do it.
Can we just let's move to today's issue, because this to Emaku's issue, I think.
Now don't forget the kind of country una dey, because like I don't understand, in Nigeria you've forgotten that when a politician probably wants something,
the manifestos, oh my God,
listen, they'll come up with big things that they want to do. They'll like they will sugarcoat you and everything, but once they get to that position, everything that they said they will do, they will not.
They would forget.
It's not matter of sugarcoating.
They will forget everything.
You see, we in Nigeria, we are opportunists. There will be something that they said before our table before she can. Let's be sincere. Let's call a spade a spade. Let's move on, please.
Okay.
Because if I want to talk about this, let's just
all right. But then I'll still say cyberbullying is not right, and I feel like in Nigeria we have resilience for it, and that's why sometimes you see the celebrities still moving on and just feeling like, oh, it's just for a short period of time. But there are some countries that we've heard that these celebrities will go ahead and commit suicide. So please, enough with the cyberbullying. Just let peace reign. We would all survive this at the long run. We will survive it. Definitely. So on today's episode, we're talking about human trafficking. And human trafficking is another topic that is prevalent in the country. I think it's the modern slavery. You know, in the olden days, when they colonized Nigerians, at that time, they would just pack Nigerians and, take them outside the country for slavery. And even before that time, I think there's this thing that Yoruba people do. They call it Oweru, whereby you would pay and buy you buy an individual for labor and all of that. You pay for for the price that you're putting on that person, and the person works for you. But then, without doubt, we know that human trafficking is prevalent in Nigeria. And according to Punch, Benue State has been ranked the epicenter. Now, then, that center, they ranked first as of 2021 and 2022, though. And on the list, we also have Ondo State. I was actually surprised to hear Ondo. Yeah, we have Ondo State, we have Edo, we have Delta, we have Kano and Imo, and their numbers are actually relatively close. So that's why I said I'm surprised about Ondo State. I know Kano.
Why are you not surprised about Edo State?
Edo State. Okay, sorry. I have Edo people here in the studio.
Do you know one thing? When you said Benue, like my heart was melting with joy, because it's already at that peak of stereotyping these states that these are the people we all know that these are the people that are doing this. But when you mention Benue, there's still hope for my state. There's still hope.
Yeah, and according to Pathfinder, Nigeria ranks 36 amongst 160 countries. And I think that's a big problem, because when it comes to corruption, Nigeria is at the forefront. And then we have human trafficking too, and we're there again. Please, can we just say one particular thing that we're ranking first in Nigeria? I don't think. It's something bad. It's something bad. I really do not know. But where love and light to Nigeria and Nigerians. Yeah, that's all I can say. And yeah, human trafficking involves, coercing people, forcing them against their will, exploitation of people for forced labor, sexual exploitation, and domestic servitude. Now, in this case, traffickers, they will coerce you, they will force you. At this point, you don't have freedom. You can't say, oh, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that. You have to do it because they also have to earn their pay, and you don't have an opinion about it. And also, when we're talking about the statistics of human trafficking in Nigeria, like I said earlier, we're ranking 36. But annually, according to Poverty Action, suggests estimation of 750,000 to 1 million people are trafficked annually in Nigeria. Yeah. And according to the Global Slavery 2023 Index report, we have about 1.6 million people in slavery, and that's according to Pathfinder. Then the U.S. Department of State Trafficking in Persons Report 2023 indicates a rise in investigation compared to 2022, and we have about 1,242 cases initiated, including 511 sex trafficking and 282 labor trafficking cases. For more trafficking for Nigeria, please don't stay where they will kidnap you at this point.
It's no matter of kidnap. I disagree with you when you say is a forceful or coercion, is a forceful something. These days, my dear, most of them that are being trafficked is out of their consent.
What I would say about that is I can't know that exactly. I can't know that you want to traffic me and come meet you to come traffic me.
What is the definition of the traffic that you're talking about?
Okay.
Is whereby you some of them are actually consent, whereby someone will just come as an angel to you, maybe met you in a party, you are looking beautiful, and do you know that there's a job somewhere? These jobs are, if you ask the person what is the definition of the job, is nowhere to find.
Some of them will tell you actually.
But me, I feel like,
but when you go on and do your findings and make a research, I hear from Edo State. I know what I'm talking about. Most of them is out of consent. Most of them is even from their parents. The family will have to even gather money for you to go. They can gather money up to 1.something million that they cannot use to invest you here. They will ask you to go. Tell me,
when it comes to Japa, when it comes
this
to
is not
to leave the country.
What is a few people out there are making money
out of
making money. And most times you don't even know what people are doing. You don't know if they are doing prostitution. You don't know if they are cleaning they
are washing dead people over there. But in my own opinion, I feel most of these people that fall victims are people that also want a better life for themselves. Now, you want a better life for yourself, but then you want a cheap, better life. Now, you're probably supposed to travel out of the country, have about 10 million naira to be able to travel out of the country, and someone is telling you, just bring 1.5 million.
Okay.
So I feel like it is greediness on one part. Yeah, it is greediness on one part. But I would also say that it is the willingness to want to be a better person. And, desperation sometimes, when you're tired of your situation, you're tired of what you're going through, when any opportunity. This opportunity, exactly, this opportunity might be a bad opportunity, but then you will still want to grab, like, okay, let me just have this hope that this one will work this point in time. You get a lot of people as they've gotten scammed because several you got scammed the first time, the second time because you want to do HMM and all of that, but then you still feel like when someone sells it to you, you know, these marketers, God, those people, they have sweet mouth. Jesus. Now, when they bring it to you, my sister, if you put this 1,000 naira, by the end of next week, you're getting 10,000 naira. My sister, it's not a joke. Oh, this is how we process it. This is how it works and all of that. The money you put in, we use it for business. And then we give
evidence. Like the evidence go to choke.
You go choke. Like you go choke madly. And then you just feel like, okay, let me just try it again.
Okay.
Let me not give up. Let me not lose hope. This might work. So I feel like these are some of the things that pushes people, because I can't willingly know that you're about to traffic me to a country that I'm going there to do slavery for sex exploitation and put myself there.
I mean, I'll not come and meet you. See me.
There's difference between one being being a state of being jackpot and human trafficking.
Yeah.
Most of them that are going through human trafficking, or they are being trafficked, or out of your consent, or
without your consent.
Let me tell you, this is not a process of legal right or legal action. Where do they follow? Is it legal now?
No, they will tell them that they are using road. That's why it's cheap. They are not taking flights. It's road.
True. Let me tell you.
They will travel. They will travel from here.
We are going to Ghana. You hear some people say they are going by bus.
As you've said earlier on, is greed.
Yeah,
it's not matter of maybe poverty or whatsoever. It's greed, and you cannot tell me I will pass through. Do you know? Most of them, they use their ear. There is no matter of there is awareness already, because it has been going on. It has been going on. Most of them that fall a victim, most of their sisters and other ones have tried the process. Even they have tried the process once, they know how it feels. They still want to.
Some people still try this same process and it works for them.
It works for them.
So you can work for Nkechi. Why would you not work for Blessing? Yes,
sincerely. But okay,
so that's just
and I also feel like trafficking is not done internationally alone. You know, all these big aunties in Lagos that will go to the village and be like, you know, you saw someone, you saw someone you grew up together coming to the village and saying, Mama, see, in Lagos, saying, I have a big business, I have this, I have that. The thing is, they don't tell the family members the truth. So I have this, I have that, I can do this, I can do that, I have this business. I just want your daughter to follow me. I know that you're trying. So yeah, I just want her to help me do this and do that in the house, and I will pay her. Even if she wants to go back to school, Mama, I will send her to school. And then the woman just feels like, okay,
they won't pray for you, my daughter.
Exactly, God will bless you. Now the daughter that wants to follow this auntie too, she already saw that this auntie is driving big car. She's already calculating. In the next 3 years, by the time I'll go arrive,
I'll build house for Mama.
Sincerely, I'll build house for Mama. And then she's like, okay, Mama, I think I should go with her. And then she follows her. And on getting to Lagos is another story entirely. And you know, the thing they do for these people is immediately you get to your location, they cut you off. Every people that you want to reach out to, you no longer have a phone, you no longer have this, you no longer have that. So you're on your own, you have to survive on your own. Now, it's even better for people that are in Nigeria. As of this moment, you can look for small money and run back to your village. But I think this is what they even do. You have to take an oath that, okay, I'm in this, I'm not going to tell anybody, I'm not going to do this, I'm not. Yeah, exactly.
And don't you think these are signs for you to?
But that is after they get. But
these are signs for you to know.
Eat already.
No, the process is that they make an oath before going.
No, it's not. I feel like you're already there. You're already there.
More like a court is now. You want to join court. You want to make quick money. You're already there now. You find yourself maybe in the red room or whatever.
Yeah. Then they'll tell you that it's either you go or you die.
Or you die there. So what will you choose?
There are most cases whereby, especially those that are going to
outside the country,
and Liberia and all those Europe and all of that. Most times they make them to take an oath before leaving. Oh, you are not. They make you to
that
give
is before leaving the country, right?
Before leaving the
yeah,
country.
but this one that I'm talking about is someone that our parents are in the village, and they brought her to Lagos, and now immediately you get to. They won't tell you to take an oath in front of your mom. Obviously, you know that there's something going on. Why would you ask me to take a oath? I'm just following you to go assist you at work. But now, on getting to Lagos, you got in. They told you to freshen up. You're looking so nice and pink, and you don't know anybody. And now they're saying like, okay, you have to take a oath. At that point in time, you can't leave the house, because if you leave, now your dead body they go back out. So you have to stay and do that. So that is where the forced thing and the coerced thing comes from. Exactly. That if you do not do this, we'll kill your family member. So that is where the coerced and the first thing comes in.
But don't you think there are still signs before then that because of desperation, they only turn blind eyes to it?
Sometimes you don't know, my dear. You don't
Sincerely,
know.
As of now, as this jet age we are, people are already too smart to that extent. It's only that they are being greedy or desperate, out of desperation, that they want to go and seek for greener pasture. They just turn blind eye to it. Nothing else. Let's just not paint it the way it is. They are part of the stakeholders of trafficking. So let them be accountable for it. Don't paint it the way
it's not supposed to be.
You understand?
But then I still think that, okay, now when someone tells you that, oh, I'm making money outside the country, blah blah blah, and I think for a fact all of these things are making us doubt even the real things.
Definitely, yeah.
You get now there are opportunities even outside the country. I was going on my TikTok one day, and I saw a white lady saying that, oh, they need workers in this particular country and they're short of workers. The first thing that came to my mind is, God forbid bad thing. God forbid bad thing. Even if that opportunity is real, now we are at the point whereby we're already doubting everything and anything now. But okay, yeah, for me, I can say, yeah, I doubted it because maybe I'm not so desperate to leave the country. But there are some people that they want to run away from the hardship of the country.
Is that desperacy? And people know when you are desperate. People know when you are desperate. If they can smell desperacy.
What can you? I can say that desperation also comes from the part of you wanting a better life for yourself.
Let me shock you with this. Do you know that there are some cases whereby someone will walk up to you, or what's the job that you want to offer me? There's job somewhere. There's job somewhere. You that is a Kusat graduate, they will tell you that one company is looking for one company. Why? If it's that rosy, then see. Let me tell you, and there's no free lunch in Freetown.
Yeah.
So if that is that rosy and is maybe that person so much love you, they should start with their family. Don't like sit down and think. Sit down. Don't be desperate.
There was a point that I think that should be around 2022. Yeah, 2022. And then I got a call from my friend. This my friend, when I talk about someone being intelligent, he is. And then he was telling me like, oh, that around this area, there's this particular company there that people go there to register for passport. Now, probably you're supposed to pay for your passport. You're supposed to register for say 40,000 naira. They do it at a cheaper rate.
Now, or 10,000.
Yeah, no, it's even a little bit much. You get it's a bit much, so that you would not suspect that what they're doing.
It's higher than the normal.
It's not higher. So in a case whereby you're two now, instead of you to pay 40,000 or 80,000, you just pay 70,000 naira. So that's like discount in hand, discount. So that didn't look like, oh, these people want to scam me, and then they would pay for your trip. Now getting there, now this is what they even said. They will not only pay for your trip, the job you're going to do there is already available for you. So all you have to do is travel there, start working, and then you pay back the owner of the company who is sponsoring you. You get that was it. But then I think I'm saying it from the point whereby you can deduce that it's a lie. But they made it look so real because they obviously have a company that you can walk into and you see them, you get. Now this my friend went there and even asked one of those guys like, okay, Oga, I want to ask you a question. You that you are here, everybody wants to leave the country. Why are you still here? Then the guy said, oh, it's batch by batch.
Okay.
Now this is because this my friend is in intelligence, but
be smart.
So this person was like that. It's batch by batch and everything. And you know, this everyone like that. Hey, all right, this thing is looking real and everything. Then you know, there's something about him. He will come back and give you that gist again. Like, if you know what I saw today, I was like, what happened? You won't believe that those people they were scam. My spirit was just telling me not to go there.
So how did he find out that they were scammers?
No, he said he was just passing by. I was just driving, and then he saw people there crying, you know, shouting and everything. Then he came down like, what's going on? And they were like, these people are scammers. They've taken millions of naira. Now, the funny thing was that it was not in that state alone. They've gone to separate states and then to that state. Now, funny enough, and luckily for those people, maybe not so lucky, they arrested them. They got some of them. But now, my question is, police officers, will they return the money to the people?
You don't
know, because that one is already exhibit. So, even with the fact that they apprehended those people, still they can't get their money back. So I just feel like sometimes this trafficking does not look, I want to traffic you as much.
They'll package it well.
Yeah, and I feel like even those people that, okay, for example, Oloture, the movie Oloture, I think the Sharon Oja, the season 2 was released last month, and you know, she's a journalist, and then they had the case of someone being trafficked, and she was like, I would go. The funny thing is, she hasn't had anything to do with a man prior to that time, so she had to enter a prostitution house, and you know, giving the vibe that she's also a prostitute, but you know, it's a staff like her that comes to pick her every night. Yeah, she dresses like a prostitute, goes to the road like every other person, but it's a staff like her that comes to pick her. But you know, obviously it's not to have anything to her, it's just to discuss it. So then the next morning, investigate, then he would give her money, and you would think like, my maga for that night and everything. So everybody just feel like, once they see the guy and a customer, they don't even stress because she's the only one it comes to pick. Then it got to a point now that someone came in and was like, if you want to travel outside the country, raise your hand and all of that. And you know, now all these ladies there was a lady that I think she's, all the money she's getting, she was just pumping it into her family and all of that, trying to help home. And then she just was like, okay, she wants to travel out. She was even the one that told Sharon Oja like, let's do this together and everything. Then, you know, they raised money. They raised about over ₦1 million per person.
Wow.
To travel out. Because you want to travel out and everything.
That's where the desperation comes in. That $1 million, you can use it to invest something in Nigeria and still make it. But they are not picking dollars in the
streets. I don't really call it desperation. So they find the desperation is there. But at the same time, when you see another opportunity, they find you are making money.
That is why I use that word. There's no free lunch in Freetown. But they are not picking dollars.
Enough. And you want to do more. My father did a lot for me.
And I want to give them
a better life. Sometimes you don't blame these people. They actually want a better life.
And the only place you can get that's the mindset. The only place you can get a greener pasture is abroad.
Okay, now
they are not picking dollars on the street.
So are you trying to tell me that while you are here now and you probably Jumia or whatever do this now and say they are hiring or they are recruiting staff, and probably they'll pay 200,000 or 50,000. And funny enough, this one now is not scam, it's real. I can tell them that you will not leave the job you are doing now and go there.
That is a different thing.
It's not a different thing. It's the same thing.
Now, even in these people's
sometimes that's the way it comes sometimes.
Now, even in these people's case,
whereby they will tell, if someone will come up to you and tell you that, you as a school start graduate, that there is one oil company there that is working, they are looking for workers. What do you want to offer? Don't now. Let's call it.
And you tell the same job she's doing here.
Okay, so now here's the thing. This is what they even told them. This is what they told them. Okay, they're traveling out and they won't even have to do this prostitution thing again. The lady that I said all the money she makes, she sent home. She just wants to be out of that position. You know, she doesn't want to do that anymore. So she just wants to, now after they paid the money and they were making the trip, the funny thing was that they already got to another state before they now swear an oath. So it was not immediately that they actually swear an oath.
So the oath, what did they?
Now they actually did swear an oath, and then I think it was during the time where they were swearing the oath that they noticed that the other lady that was tired of the prostitution thing, they saw a phone on her. And immediately they cut off her head.
Wonderful.
Like immediately, no cap. Now, this lady's younger sister was also going with them.
Okay.
When they got to the boundary between Nigeria and Mauritania, that's where they're traveling to. When they got to the boundary, some of them were able to escape. Sharon Oja wanted to escape.
What happened?
Okay, there were two that wanted to escape. She wanted to escape with the lady's younger sister. Luckily for the younger sister, she was able to escape, but they caught on Sharon Oja, and she had to travel. She did travel, and in the season 2 now, she was in the country. They were able to escape again. A lot of things.
And so that way you have actually watched that story. Do you know that the younger sister is still desperate? She wants to go after.
But the reason why she said she wants to go back, she said, though it sounds stupid, the reason she gave sounds so stupid. She said
it's just
she wants to go back because of her sister.
But
the same
sister.
She was there. She was there when they killed her sister. So she said she wants to go back because of her sister.
Or for what?
I think for revenge. But I just feel like that's a stupid thing on its own. It's really not necessary. So yeah, that's it on Oloture and everything. And I can tell you they did a wonderful job when it comes to the production of the movie. And I think he carried a lot, you knowing that as a journalist, there are risks to some of these things that we do. But anyways, I just want to know, what do you think are the root causes of human trafficking?
Like we said, we've mentioned things now. While we were talking earlier, now the state of things in the country, where Gary, like we all know, used to be the food for a poor man, right?
Yeah.
But now, many of them can't even afford to buy Gary to eat. Do you get? Like, life is actually hard, generally. So definitely, the economy, poverty is one of the causes. Unemployment. We have different causes. Do you get?
Yeah, and lack of education too. Lack of education. When we talk about the reasons why people are desperate to leave the shores of Nigeria in search of greener pastures, I feel it's because they want a better life for themselves. Like, everyone wants a better life. If me if I want better life, if me see legit opportunity to travel out, my sister, I will go. Not because I don't believe there's greener pasture in Nigeria. But because cost of living in Nigeria is killing the living. See, when people say, and when you go there, the money you make, blah, 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 I feel like by the time we are going to convert it to Nigeria currency, I'm still a rich person, mama. Let's say I made money and I'm okay, I can come back to Nigeria. You see that flexing? There's something I always say, when it comes to enjoyment, no country can beat Nigeria.
But do you know that even with the money and everything, the problem that we have in this country is our government.
Sincerely.
Sorry to say. Like, the system is fucked up. That's why even people that have traveled, traveled out,
they don't want to come back.
Because there was a video I saw one time, and I think I mentioned it in the office. That was last month.
Yeah.
An influencer went to the street of, wasn't Atlanta, we went to that video and was asking this thing, like, what would you like to change about Nigeria? If they give you, I think, was it 3 billion, maybe 2 billion, will you go back to Nigeria? And they asked us to go back to Nigeria, will you go back? All of them said no.
They can't
for
go back.
various reasons on the other. And many, like, when you look at all these reasons, so we're talking about this system, the government, corruption, everything boiled down
to the government.
Yes. So if this can change, Nigeria will be great too.
Sincerely, I think our government needs to look after the people.
It's high time we start appreciating ourselves.
Okay.
There are still these abroad people are talking about. There are still some country coming to Nigeria to look for the greener pasture we say we are looking for abroad too. So let's channel our energy that we are going to make it with Nigeria. Something can happen. Something can happen with your life. Not you being there. I'm not saying if there's legal opportunity, fine and good. And lo and behold, there are some people that will still go to that abroad that we in Nigeria, we are still better off than them. So if you start having that mindset, not just that negative mindset of Nigeria, desperation will lead you to so many things you can't imagine of. That's just it.
Yeah, I understand. But then I think next week we're going to bring in some people who are going to, enlighten us more on human trafficking. But then before we go, I want to read out a story of someone who was trafficked outside the country. And then it says the journey from Nigeria commonly involves a dangerous crossing of the Sahara Desert in the back of truck. Udekwe Kennedy Obina, one of the survivors attending the Abuja awareness campaign on Thursday, said he was encouraged to try his luck outside Nigeria by his elder brother who is based in Italy. Now, this one even have a relative outside the country. So at this point, can we really blame this brother? But then Obina described the desert crossing in the back of a Toyota pickup truck, a journey which which proved fatal for others with him. Whoever dies is thrown from the back of the truck. No burial, no funeral, he recalled. Upon arrival in Libya, he learned he had been sold effectively into slavery by those transporting him. Josiah Emerole of Nigeria National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons is keen that more Nigerians know the true stories of trafficking. People are recruited from various places and taken to places where they are made to believe that they're owing somebody. They made them to sign like $70,000, 80,000 euros and all that to say that is the amount of money that we use in bringing you until you pay all that you cannot be free. Regina Deleke, a native of Benue State, Nigeria, was enticed to create a job selling noodles and spend the savings on travel by her friend who promised to get a good job in Italy. When we got to Tripoli, where we reached our madam's house, she said what we're going to be doing, that if we do not pay her enough money, that she will take us to a prostitution house where we'll be paying her daily. Said Adeleke. She finally escaped from Libya and was left to return home by the International Organization for Migration, and that was on African News. So I can still say that most of these people are traveling out for greener pastures. Look at this Regina lady. Look at the other guy. The other guy said his brother encouraged him. This other lady said her friend encouraged her. While they want a greener pasture, while we might think they're greedy and desperate, there are some situations that, well, only God can help. Yeah, only God can help, really.
You know, to add it to that, I think it's high time we Nigerians erase that mindset that, especially when you get to observe human trafficking, it's mainly about females and children. You understand? Then it's high time for Nigerians to erase that mindset that women are commodities. We are not commodities to be bought or to be sold. So earlier we get to know that or have that knowledge about women, so the better for us, and it reduces this crime of human trafficking and all of that.
It drop. And I also want everyone to know that not be only women they get trafficked. Even men are getting trafficked. So this is just a thing for everyone out there. You're trying, you're doing your best. Trust me. Like you said, they try. A lot of people want to be in that position you're in right now. So please, enough of the desperation. Just focus on your focus for the meantime. When the time is right, something good and great will come up. That will be all on human trafficking for this week. But next week, we're going to bring in experts that would enlighten us and, talk to us about human trafficking. And once again, I want to thank Precious and Grace for joining me on the show this afternoon. We really had fun. I'm sure you guys had fun.
Oh, yes,
and a big shout out to Paul, our producer, our able producer, and a big shout out to Pelumi. He's been in the studio with us. The compare. He's been in the studio with us. That would be all on today's episode. Until next time, do have a great day, Veegilants. Bye.